Hey, Cohen. There we go. So I finally remembered to actually start things up before before I started streaming and make sure everything was going smooth. Finally remember to do that before I press start. Or go live, rather. Anyway, tonight we're playing Assemble with Care, which is a cute little short game. Pause this. There we go. And I'm gonna switch screens. And remember to set it up this time. So it's not gonna take over the whole screen and I have to rescale it on stream. Also, a little bit of big news. I did a test run with Cult of the Lamb because Eclipse got me Cult of the Lamp. Cult of the Lamp. Funny. Anyway, he got me a copy of Cult of the Lamb, and so I did a test run, and it works almost perfectly. The only issue is some small lag with the loading between screens and stuff, but you guys are patient. Okay, assemble with care. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Now it's turning on. Woohoo! Alright, quick sound check. How is the sound? No one says anything, I'm just gonna assume it's fine. But I'm turning the sound down a little bit on my end. You know, if I can. Go. There's that. Down a little bit. There we go. Back to the game. This game is best played with sound. I know because I've played this before.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
This is us. We are playing Maria.
But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs. Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
Oh, the game's a little loud. Alright, hold on. Let me get to Streamlabs and I will take care of that. Unfortunately, audio does not play while I am away from that particular screen. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear a bit. And we're unpacking. But yeah, feel free to let me know if it's like, if I need to fix this a little more. And this is essentially the tutorial stage.
I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off. The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repairwoman at your service.
Rock and roll.
My passport. Not many blank pages left now. My parents took this after I made my first repair. Seems like a lifetime ago. I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
Spoiler alert, they do. Yeah.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl and a voice she was longing to hear.
Oh, yeah, just a heads up, guys. The story is kind of bittersweet.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Alright, first restoration.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
Always check the batteries. That. Oops. No, that wasn't it. There's the tape. So you put this. Come on. It takes a little while to get used to maneuvering the objects. There we go. And now this.
Why did you do that?
So that is how you fix a cassette
How did you
tape.
do that? I didn't see.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight, know that I
When it finished,
There we go.
Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
It is a sweet game, but it's also a sad game.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. Part I wouldn't be able to fix.
No, but that doesn't stop us from trying. It's definitely a more narrative story.
My
game.
first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it? Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
They won't.
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
A lot of people think that about their kids. Yay. Now the headpiece goes here.
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
I know the foot piece goes there. Oh yeah, this part goes here. I always get confused and I think the book goes on this side. But no, it's the sword. There we go.
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
Hashtag daddy issues.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Sorry. I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again?
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening.
That's one way to see it. I mean, I can't really like say much because I do the same thing.
Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
Next. I think there's like 13 chapters. Hold on. Yeah, there's 13 chapters and then like a little bonus chapter. Yep, we just did that one, so now we're on to this one.
My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some, seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
Yep.
You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it. Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
She sounds nervous. The old in with the new. Rocket 9, welcome in. It's been a while, buddy. How you doing?
Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
Okay, now we gotta fix the bell. Tonight we're playing Assemble with Care, which is pretty much a very chill, very relaxing restoration sort of game. Right now, we're restoring an old rotary phone. Still alive and alright, how am I? I'm doing alright. Just taking it one day at a time, friendo. question is can I remember all the fixes to this game?
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
Where does it go? It's a phone. And this is what phones looked like before they were flat bricks. Nah, personally, I would love to have an old rotary phone like
When
that.
I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent, and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello? How's my favourite sister doing today?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
Nuki, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. We're playing Assemble with Care, not Assembly with Care. Assemble with Care. Ugh, words.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
Anyway, we just fixed an old rotary phone.
You don't need to be here though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh god, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
So for those of you youngins out there, this is a rotary phone. This is what telephones used to look like. What you would do is you would stick your finger in one of these holes. So like this would be 9. So if you want to dial 911, you'd have to stick your finger in the hole, swirl it all the way back, wait for the disc to rotate back to its normal position, and then do the same with the rest of the numbers. Back in my day. Nah, my abuela had a rotary phone and she would let us play with it after it was disconnected from the wall.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name. Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
She's grumpy. She's grumpy.
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera, any professional photographer's dream.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
Who on here remembers disposable cameras? Like, just for curiosity's sake. Come on.
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
You're right, I haven't. Oh, your Walmart still sells them? That's so cool, though. Come on. Where's the trigger to twist it? There we go. That goes bye-bye.
If I use the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Just right. There we go.
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
That's not supposed to be there. Oh, I was putting it in the wrong spot.
Those screws still need to be put back.
Fixing cameras gets scary fast. Yes, it does. My dad did photography part-time when I was growing up. It was kind of like a hobby job type thing. And so I kind of grew up around cameras. And of course, my dad has pictures of me as a baby in his portfolio. But yeah, it gets scary pretty fast because there are so many delicate parts. Like, this game makes it so much simpler, look so much simpler than it actually is. Because normally there would be a lot more screws.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford.
So I'm not quite sure about the timetable of this game, but today that kind of camera is worth like, I looked it up, I think it's like almost $150,000. So yeah, way more than a handyman can afford.
It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing.
Well, it is an antique. I'm pretty sure it was considered an antique by the time of this, whatever this game takes place.
Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready. The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
And we all know someone like that.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
That sounds familiar.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
Let's put it together. Back here, you. Have I ever seen the game A Little to the Left? That game is actually on... Oh, I'm supposed to glue it. It's actually on my Steam wishlist. No question, the mark is in the name. I mean, it was also a question, Nuki. I think we're missing a part. Do it. Oh, nope. Back. Yeah, because there's supposed to be like a little ice cream thing that goes up there. Oh. Oh, that's the pause screen. Okay. This back. There we go.
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea. I think I have a spare part that could do that.
There we go. Would you go back? Come on. Need you to rotate. There we go. Take that off. That there. Come on. Glue. And stick. We're gonna be taking this back off like at least one more time before we're done with this level.
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
Alright, so that part we don't need yet. Come on. There's my mouse. I'm gonna go with the ice cream cone. Or what do you guys think? Ice cream cone, cocktail glass, or pizza slice? Let's see if I can do a poll. Alright, 2 seconds while I switch to here. Open a browser. Stream manager. Hopefully you guys don't have to hear double. Wait for it to load. Carmen sounds like it would be a nice ice cream place. I agree. There we go. Well, Twitch is being difficult. Oh well. Yeah, let's go with the ice cream cone. Hey. Oh, we have to connect this bit first. Alright. You go back. No, you stay. Good. There. And those connect there. Awa. Whoops. There we go. And ice cream. Now let's turn it on. Hey!
It works! I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
There we go. All done.
The sign fixed, we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
Hydration.
That's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived. Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
ZA Loader, welcome in. We're playing Assemble with Care. And I'm thinking and like trying to guess like what the time period we're in is. I think it might be like late 80s, early 90s. You know, like back when neon was still a thing, but wasn't like super popularized. And I'm basing that completely off of fashion choices right here. Right. This is like a quote Game Boy unquote. Hey, Scottish last 666 redeemed the first. So congratulations, you got the first. Hello and welcome in.
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do.
Alright, let me fix the sound. Little down.
With.
And there we go.
When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house.
You been here before you got gifted a sub by Eclipse? Yeah, he did that. Eclipse. Surprisingly enough, this is the game that he has not gifted me because that little tar boy is responsible for like 50% of my Steam library.
I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
Sounds about right for a little tar boy. It does sound about right for a little tar boy. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that my Friday schedule stay open for a little while longer, and hopefully I'll be able to collab with him a little bit more in the future. Crossing fingers, though. And if not, we still play off stream when we can.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth.
It's 3 a.m. for you at the moment, so probably won't be here long. Hey, you're in the same time zone as Eclipse! And I know that because we were gonna play a little bit today, depending on like when I finished Assemble with Care. And it's like, yeah, I'm starting the stream at like 3 a.m. for you.
On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore.
You're in UK. Oh, okay, so yeah, Eclipse is an hour ahead of you. Right, because 3 a.m. was like an hour ago for him. I am horrendous at math. Like, I am absolutely horrid at basic math. Unless it has to do with fabric, for some reason.
Can you fix it for me?
Alright, we're fixing the Game Boy. Alright, we gotta replace the screen and the button. First things first, take battery out. You're awesome at math, but atrocious at English comprehension. Same. Well, actually, English comprehension's a little easier for me because it's my native language. But it's not, like, super, super easy. Goes there. You take that out, put this one in. Come on.
Nothing. Maybe there's an issue with the battery.
I know there's an issue with the battery. You're literally English and it's still hard for you. Ignore the Scottish in your name. You live in Scotland, but you are English. Okay. Cool. Well, I think it's cool. Alright. I'll put that back on. Going to reattach wires. I don't think I'm attaching them right.
Do grown-ups play games as well? Is it meant to look like that? It's weird. I don't like it.
Not quite. We need to fix the screen. Oof. There we go. that, we need to replace the screen too. So that means the actual board has to come off. That goes there. The music in this game is almost lullaby bedtime story-esque. It is. It's definitely a relaxing game. Come on. Come on. This to go there. No. Nope. Yep. Beans on the bottom. I messed up a little bit. I think. Maybe. Let's see. Ah. Hey, we fixed it.
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
Sure. Let's pretend I'm good at this. Hey, it's Pokemon Snap.
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own. Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Gotta adjust my seat a little bit.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
Aw, she got Ingy. She got Ingy at the game. We all can relate to that.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
Food.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too. It made me think, had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind. Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
I tripped.
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Do you think he said it was unusual because he knows that, like, very few people probably have lawnmowers? Automatic lawnmowers. There's no doubt that the manual lawnmowers were still there.
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office.
Oh, fun fact, did you know that a lot of, like, the old push lawnmowers, not the ones that run on gasoline, but the ones that you had to physically push and they rotated, a lot of those are considered antiques now. Fun fact for the day.
You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town.
Every cafe and every every restaurant.
I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which,
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
And in my opinion, this is one of the harder levels of the game. Or, no, it might not be this one. No, it is this one, because first we fix the glass, and then we have to actually go inside. Oh. Right.
Ah, the main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it.
Yes, we will.
The cogs look good, though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
Go. And broken plate goes there. Nope. Nope. Not quite. That doesn't fit anywhere, so no. There we go. The first time I played this game, that part in particular, trying to get the gears
are
to
you
fit in.
sure it will all fit back together?
Trying to get all the gears to fit back in was like the hardest part.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
That back in. Oh, no. No! We need the face. And then we do that. And then that goes in. Oh. And this part. And one more screw. And we attach the wrist strap. Nope. Stop it. I think that's it? No. What did we miss? We have to put this back in? Oh, right. Something's not connecting right. I think it looks like it's connected right. Nothing's moving. Part go there? Nope. Let's see. Okay. Yep. There it is. There it is. That was it.
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here. Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun.
He looks stressed.
I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
This one. I had a hard time with this one. Full disclosure.
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
We're having a clear out, or at least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual. There's a market at the festival tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money. She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
Who remembers slide projectors? I honestly can't say that
That light bulb is completely smashed.
the last time I'd seen a projector,
Okay,
I was in
I'll
kindergarten.
need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
That goes there. See, that little bit right there completely stumped me. I thought the light was supposed to go there, but no, it's supposed to go up. Just gotta... You don't think you've seen a slide projector, but remember the school using overhead projectors? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. With the, like, oh, what's it called? I know what it's called, it's just... like, the clear plastic bit thing. Ah! That's not what I wanted to do. The clear plastic sheets. The projector sheets. Do this bit. Cause yeah, I remember those.
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
You go there. This goes here. I'm not getting the slides out. This goes there. The bottom. And there we go.
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looked so sad.
Transparencies, yes, that's what they were called.
Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
It doesn't look broken. It just looks detached. Go. And there we go. Now you just gotta screw everything back in.
I think I've missed a screw somehow.
Somehow.
When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
You know, like siblings do.
I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister. She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
And there we go. Slide projector. Fixed.
Helena was transfixed. Staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
Hello! Welcome in, and you have immediately redeemed a fertilizer. So let me get a snacky. Cookie. Anyway, right now we're playing Assemble with Care. And, Cohen and I are revealing our ages here. Because, we just fixed a slide projector. And we were talking about how we had those overhead projectors at school when we were growing up. Ooh, you have mini Oreos? Yum. I'd have knockoff Oreos. I couldn't remember what the sheets they used to put on the overhead projectors were called. So that's why you see the word transparencies up there. Cookies sound good? Cookies are good. There's always time for cookies. Cookies and milk.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe. Plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing.
There was always that one teacher who got so frustrated he was going to put on the language. Yeah, it was usually an older teacher too. Oh man, I remember when they started transitioning smart boards into the classroom. Like, okay, for context, here's how old I am. When I was a senior in high school, we still had computer labs, which are literally just giant classrooms full of computers. Yeah. But no, I remember when smart boards were like first a thing. They tested it on the music teacher in the music teacher's classroom first.
Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Oh yeah, they stopped. Well, computer labs are still a thing, but now they're called computer libraries. And most students these days are provided with a school, with a school laptop or a school Chromebook. I know for younger kids, they have to keep their Chromebooks at school unless they get like special permission to sign it out. But a lot of my younger siblings, their high school program, we're about the same age. My school theater for woodshop. So my school was a career teaching school. So we had woodshop. It was like one of those hybrid schools. We had career oriented courses, and then we also had fine arts oriented courses. So we had like architecture, culinary classes, fashion and art were mixed into the same class. But like we had tailoring, there was like a dual study class where you could take some classes at the high school and at the community college at the same time. Or like to get like your teaching degree and your nursing degree and your computer engineering degree and your coding degrees. All that fun stuff.
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance.
Culinary class in middle school for 3 months, and the program was cut. Yeah, a lot of programs got cut, usually in favor for sports. But my high school was weird, and they cut the sports funding to keep some of the fine arts courses. Mostly because we had the only theater, actual theater in that area.
I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit.
Just a second. Had to sneeze. So sorry about that. I liked it, but you are male coded, so the boys in the class actually make fun of you for being in the cooking class, and I was just like, yeah, that was really hypocritical of them, because if they're already in the culinary class and you're in there and they're making fun of you for being in the culinary class and being male coded, what are you doing there? Plus, let's be real. Talking as a pansexual non-binary, there is nothing sexier than a man who can cook. Well, I mean, there are things sexier, but come on. Like, you cannot tell me. Like, that's lame. Everyone needs food. What's wrong with cooking? Exactly. What's wrong with cooking? Everyone needs to learn how to cook. But most females out there will agree with me that there's just something so attractive about a man who can cook. And I'm not talking like a box meal like Hamburger Helper or macaroni and cheese. I'm talking like actually cook and know what they're doing.
All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour?
You know, You also probably could have thrown this in their face that the two of the world's most famous chefs are Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay. Cooking and food by extension is magical. Yes. You kind of know what you're doing, but it's mostly just what I need to know how to feed myself. Cohen. When you get the chance. Worst Cooks of America. Not just for a confidence booster, but you can actually learn things from the show. Like, they show you different techniques, and after that, it's just a matter of actually doing it. You have to like actually practice. It's muscle memory. I'm still really bad at cutting up vegetables, onions in particular. But you gotta get out there. You gotta practice. You gotta experiment. But Worst Cooks of America, they do teach you like a lot of different techniques. So many people don't even know that much. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that much. Make a mean clam chowder. Ooh, I like clam chowder. I'm not really experienced in cooking with seafood, so I can't really speak for like chowders and stuff, but I know some pretty good recipes, and I can make a pretty decent fried rice.
Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Girl, really?
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
Yep, on our day off. Alright. Camping still. Let's go. Whoops. Nuts. I do not remember this part at all. Clearly this is supposed to go here. And these go there. Basically cooking, throw all the spices in it, just whatever you like, throw it in. It won't be too much except balsamic vinegar. Yes, balsamic vinegar, soy sauce, and what was it? There was a spice. There's one spice. Red pepper flakes. Use sparingly. Baking is pick a deity and pray. Yeah, here's the thing. You're not wrong.
It all fits. Now to light the gas. I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself.
Yeah.
Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
Alright. Stock. Stick of... Doesn't say, so I'm gonna assume it's this. Half of a carrot. 2 broccoli florets. A handful of chopped
looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
Three wild mushrooms. Oh, it was a quarter stick of butter. Oh, I think I put half a stick in. Plenty of love. Let's hope it works.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, and a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed them both a serving.
That was so tasty. Can I have some more, please?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best. Good luck.
Yay, we did good.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
Okay, the comment about baking is bugging me a little. So, one of the key things with baking that a lot of people, like especially common bakers, will ignore is you mix the wet stuff first. You mix the wet stuff and the dry stuff separately. Like, we are not kidding when we say make sure they're mixed separately. Because if you add the wet stuff, if you mix the wet stuff with the dry stuff before the dry stuff is ready, so like if it says to cream, butter, and sugar, yeah, go ahead, do that. It doesn't really, it won't really like ruin anything. But like if you're adding eggs directly to the flour and then mixing, yeah, that's gonna screw up the texture and consistency of the batter. Mostly because that flour will or the egg will they'll absorb each other in like a weird way. That is like the most common mistake that the average person makes when baking.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did.
Not more for a pasta flour. No. And that brings me to flours, because there are so many different types of flours. But like the egg thing, yeah, that does kind of apply more for a pasta flour. But it also applies for both cake, it applies to all flours. Okay, like when you're baking a cake, you definitely want to mix the liquids before the solids. And then that's another thing. When you have the flour and you have all your powders and stuff, sift it. It'll make it fluffy. Like super fluffy. Like if you want like borderline muffin top type cookies, sift the flour. And add an extra egg.
I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
There it is. Realizations.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bella Riva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favorite sous chef. Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama. Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Heck yeah, sisters reunited.
I wanted to give her this to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
It definitely does. You tend to be pretty good at following instructions to a T. Worked well for me when I baked the London squares. Heck yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Knock that off. My dad actually had...
Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
My dad actually had one of these when I was growing up. Just there.
That's the speed dial connected. Now we should be able to change it.
Got no sense for writing recipes. That's a super different skill. Oh, it's definitely a different skill. Not quite. That makes things louder. Does that go there then? Nope. That goes there. And that goes there. Nope. Come on. Connect. Let's go over here. No, I don't think so. Go there? Nope.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, hold on. And then put that on and that on. Press play.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
I don't remember how this connects. Excuse me. Okay. That changes the speed, which goes right there. This changes the volume. Oh, this changes the volume. Come on. We do Fiasco. Will we have enough time to dedicate to it? Depends. You just gotta let me know in advance when we're doing Fiasco, because I do have to set up the time with my wife. And then it's connected to speaker. Oh, there it
I
is.
think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
Keyword should.
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around.
Let us see. Yeah, as long as I can give my wife like advanced warning on when we're doing the fiasco. Whoop, did not mean to hit my microphone there. We'll do your best word with everyone. Heck yeah! Alright.
If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now.
Let's try. Oh wait. W0. Alright. It tells us the model right there. That connects there.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
There we go. Still gotta find at least one more. Well, it definitely doesn't hurt to ask around.
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Remind me to ask Ikainu, because Ikainu might be interested.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything.
You've been putting it off while dealing with the cat, with your kitty cat? Yeah, that's completely understandable. I mean, your IRL life comes first, buddy. I know it sucks. I know it's not ideal for some people, but your IRL life comes first.
But the silence between us was so cavernous. I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it.
It's also like, I don't know if you guys remember the rules, like for the chat, like, you know, you have to click the okay, I accept or okay, I got it thing. But one of the rules is my goblins come first. If I'm streaming during the day and I get a call from the school, or if one of them is homesick, stream is automatically stopped. I go take care of my kids. If I can return, I will return. If not, sorry guys. The real frustrating thing is that I have to put that as a rule in the first place. Alright, we're almost done, and this is where things start to get sad. Or get sad.
My final morning in Bellariva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again. This would be my last repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
You get that? That's why you want to make sure Fiasco's at a convenient time for everybody. Yeah, and like, as you discover more people... Oh, ads. Dang it, Stream Manager, you're supposed to tell me when those happen. I wait. Hold on. Oh, and back. Awesome. Yeah, and if it makes things easier, we have the server. We have the server for the collabs. Feel free to invite people there, and I think I already set up a channel for like scheduling stuff. That should make things a little easier, hopefully. Ah. But yeah, like as you find people to collab with, feel free to invite them, even if it's like just a temporary thing.
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens. I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
I'm not gonna go into too much detail because as far as I know, our secret plans are still kind of a little hush-hush, but try to invite people as much as social anxiety allows. Fair. Oh, he's a verb. Be one of the first things that gets removed because this is like...
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
Yes, I can. Oh. There we go. Pretty sure that even if you can't get people to join the Discord, but if they want to collab, you can use that at personal Discord account. Yeah,
This
worst case
mechanism
scenario.
is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
For like one-time things, yeah. Okay, here's a new one in. And then here's up top. Or yeah, I think there's one supposed to go right there. No. Nope. Oh, this one is the one that fits, it looks like. Not quite. Okay. Alright, so that works. That's more about it in the future soonish because Kitty is definitely on the mend, just slowly. Oh yeah, from from what I understand, isn't your kitty like a little on the older side too? Damn it. Kill. Okay, that piece and that piece goes there. Yeah, that part comes out. That part goes there. Goes here. Part goes there. Now we start putting screws together. Oh, I was asking if your cat was a little on the older side. Cause that's my understanding. Is that she's a little on the older end. Which we love our
Still a
older
few
cats
parts
here.
missing.
I know. Oh yeah, about 9. Ah, yes.